Welcome back to BYU Sports Nation. We are live in Studio B. I'm Spencer Linton, teamed up with Jarom Jordan, and we welcome in the longtime BYU football center, one of the leaders of the offensive line, the leader of the offensive line. He is Connor Pay. Connor, welcome back to BYU.
Connor?
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's good to be back.
It's good to have you back. We didn't know if we'd get you back, but you announced that you're going to return for another year. I know you've said this out there, but not on our program. What went into that decision, and was it hard?
It was hard, I think, because for most of 2023, I had anticipated that being my final season just because of where I was at in terms of NFL prospects at the end of 2022 going into 2023. My stock was pretty high, and obviously we didn't have the season that we wanted to have, and you know, when you don't win games, everybody's draft stock goes down, everybody. And we didn't play as well as we should have up front. And so, you know, when my stock started to go down, that's when I kind of had to, you know, start like, okay, what do I want to do? Would it be wise to come back for my senior season, or should I still go? And, you know, that was a hard decision to make. But, you know, as we got closer to the end of the season, I didn't think much about it while we were still playing, just because, you know, just trying to win and get to a bowl game. But, you know, once the season ended and the coaching change happened, that's when I was kind of like, okay, now I really need to evaluate what I want to do. Do I want to return to BYU? Do I want to go? And even for a time, transferring was on the table as well. And you know, at the end of the day, with the coaching change, and you know, I'm a huge fan of Coach Woods.
Awesome.
And so after meeting with him a couple times, and you know, I bleed blue through and through, and so I did not want to transfer. That would have been a last resort for me if things had not gone the way they were supposed to. But you know, the pieces got put in place, and I'm happy with where things are at. And you know, I love Kalani and I love A-Rod, and I felt like the best decision for me was to return to BYU for my senior year and hopefully, you know, help out a little bit.
At one point, I was looking at maybe the idea of only Waylon Lapuaho coming back, because you could have gone, Braden Keim could have gone, Kingsley's obviously at the NFL draft, and then you lose Paul Maile, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, BYU's offensive line is in trouble for sure. Yeah. But now Braden's back, you're back, Waylon's back. Caleb Etienne had his struggles for sure, but you got a new offensive line coach to help him. So how much difference can a guy like TJ Woods make for BYU's offensive line?
Huge, I think. And just, you know, just in being around him these last couple weeks, and actually, you know, not only sitting down and meeting with him, but then also doing field work with him, because that's something I wanted to do to see what that was like, and just how detailed and how intense he is with the coaching. I think that's going to make a world of difference for everybody in the group. Just he's definitely accountability driven.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
that's been screaming for this.
That's what we've needed. Trust me, I've been screaming for it too. But you know, and I think just his details and technique too, and just you know, someone who's going to push that day in and day out for the entire offensive line, I think is going to be huge for everybody in the room, including myself. So.
You've been outspoken about that particular element of, you know, last year missing and whatnot. What else was sort of the difference between winning and losing, and the ability to run the ball and so forth and so on from last year?
I think, you know, there's a million things that go into winning and losing, obviously, but in terms of running the ball, you know, I think
what's controllable from your end, of course.
No, and I think for us, you know, they made some changes in scheme those last couple weeks, and having a quarterback that could run a little bit brings a different element, but still, even with that, a lot of what we were accomplishing was between the tackles. And I think a lot of it has to do with, you know, just adjusting the scheme to where it's like you don't have to worry about anything else except destroying the guy in front of you, getting to the second level, getting a little more downhill with some of the schemes. And, you know, I think those were wise adjustments. And then obviously having Aiden back fully healthy helped a lot with the downhill runs, and then having LJ and Dion to kind of bring a different dynamic when they're back there. So I think, you know, at the end of the season, it all kind of just came together a little bit the way we had hoped and the way it was looking in fall camp. and the way we were hoping it could have been the entire season. So,
what kind of benefit or difference will having gone through a Power 5 schedule, game 1 to 12 for the first time, have on helping BYU get to where you want the team to be next year?
I think it'll be huge, especially for, the younger players, because now most of this team wasn't on the team in 2020, 2021, when we, and 2022, when we were playing 7 or 8 Power 5 games in a season. And so just kind of the gauntlet of the schedule a little bit, just week in, week out, that was new to almost everybody. And so I think having experienced that, knowing what it's going to take every single week, will make a world of difference for the team. Just even if it's just from a mindset perspective, because you preach things and you preach things and you preach things, but a lot of times it takes a little bit of real experience for it to kind of set in a little bit. So.
Reminds me of going on a mission. It's like you can talk about what it's going to be like, but you have to actually go out
You don't
there
really know.
and not know how to speak that language.
Also, raising children.
Yeah, all of these things, right? Going to the
I
big
don't know anything about that one.
Yeah, eventually.
I am a mission prep teacher, and
There
so it's
you go.
I'm always trying to tell, the prospective missionaries that I'm teaching about these things, and then it's funny to get their emails like 6 months in, like, oh, this makes so much sense what you were saying now, and I'm like, if you idiots would have just listened to me in the first place. But in their defense, you kind of have to experience a lot of those things.
Connor, have you watched The Safety Zone? Do you know it?
I was going to say, aren't you too old?
No, I had the safety zone videos came out while I was serving.
I'm so sorry.
And so I got to spend 4 or 5 mornings looking at your guys' faces when I should have been proselyting.
Now you know what the audience's problem is now. Yeah, exactly.
Well, those were great. Those were the best entertainment I had as a missionary.
And that's saying a lot. I thought Lilo and Stitch was a legit good movie when I watched On My Mission, because our mission. Anyway, I was like, wait, this is fun, but it's not
Star Wars.
Well, I did. Well, no.
Whoa,
I watched Return of the King on my mission. Sanctioned.
2
of the 3 were sanctioned. I'll just say that.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Another day.
I'll be honest, I don't know how I feel about that.
We're not talking about mission sins here. Or are we?
All good.
Okay, then. On signing day, not a lot of offensive guys signed. Does that give confidence to you guys knowing, hey, we feel like we've got a lot in the room? Obviously, they can go to the portal later for more guys, but it feels like there's a lot of young guys who are going to get an opportunity to factor in the O-line specifically.
Sure.
Tell us about that group and kind of who's behind the guys that played this year that could be a factor.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys. I mean, you're obviously, in an ideal world, you can't survive with the transfer portal. That just isn't how it's going to work. You can fill a couple gaps, but just the exodus we had last year and then bringing in 30 new guys, like that was great to help bolster us for the first year in the Big 12, but sustained success is going to come from high school recruiting and development of younger players. And that's, something that's been a little bit of a struggle in the offensive line room for the last few years. But I think those young guys have handled it in a really positive way. Outside of, those 4 guys who are coming back to start games, you got guys like Peter Falanico who have been developing, Trevin Osler, Jake Eichhorn, Sam Daw, Sonny Marcassini. You have some of these guys who have been in the pipeline for a couple years now, developing their bodies physically, learning the game mentally. And, I think, everybody wants to play right away, but in most programs, especially great programs, you come in as a high school player and you learn for 1, 2, 3 seasons before you ever get a play.
Yeah.
And honestly, that can be the best case scenario a lot of times. In my case, where I played pretty early on, in a lot of ways, that can be a little more challenging than, having that time to develop. And so those guys have a few years under their belt now, and so I'm really excited to see what they can do this offseason and then, push for starting spots.
Well said. Amen to that. I'm all about redshirt a year, especially if you're coming off of 2-year mission.
O-line, too. You need a redshirt.
Yeah.
Then have a full year maybe where you just sit and learn before you even think about playing as a redshirt sophomore. I love all of that. Connor, it's great to have you in studio, B, man. We're so glad that you're back with BYU.
I'm glad to be back.
Thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, guys.